Good evening, sports fans. This is your host, Kevin Hill. And I must say, I'm in a state of shock over what I saw last night, July 29th, approximately 8 p.m. Terrence Bud Crawford totally annihilated Earl the True Spence. And that hurts me to say this because I'm a big fan of Earl Spence. I had him winning this fight going in. But after watching that fight, and I am a boxing historian, I watched the Egos and the Fanons, and I watched, the Akis and the Blue Bloods. And I'm not saying I know more than them, but I will say this. I know boxing. I'm 53 years old. I've been watching boxing ever since I was like 7, 8. I go back to the days of Muhammad Ali fighting on closed circuit TV. And I'm not saying I've never seen a big fight turn out like that, but for a big fight to be so one-sided as that was so unexpected. Now, I'm going to just get to fight night. Crawford had been extremely humble in the press conferences, fight week, basically saying, hey, can we all just get along? Why is it that black folks always got to be perceived in this light? But I will say this, he ain't never worried about that before, but all of a sudden he worried about that now. And I really felt like going into the fight, I think he was concerned about Earl Spence's weight. I think he was concerned about Earl Spence being the bigger man per se. I don't think he was worried about skill or power per se, or his power. I thought he was concerned going into the fight about what weight Earl Spence would be at and how much power he was going to bring. So let's get to the actual fight. Earl Spence got some Bomac looking. I don't know who this guy is, but I mean, this rapper, I'm 53. I'm not up on all these guys, all these MCs and yo, I'm like, I don't know who this guy was, but hey, it's hip hop, so I was happy with it. It's my man Earl. Mickey Mouse could have brought him out. I mean, Vanilla Ice could have brought him out. I still would have been happy. But speaking of Vanilla Ice, what does Terrence Crawford do? Man. And before I even go into that, Earl Spence got 3 championship belts to Crawford's 1, but yet he's coming out first. Why? Coin toss. Why did you even accept that? Why? You already gave up money. Instead of it being a 60-40, 70-30 split, which a lot of people say you deserve, and especially after he kind of like defrauded PBC and went to Black Prime and had that fight that hardly nobody watched. Why did you agree to something so trivial as a coin toss for something you earned for taking 3 belts instead of him getting a belt fighting some Australian nobody? But that's his fault. But what did Crawford, what did he do? They say when you get an opportunity to take advantage, take advantage. Man, he had possibly the GOAT of hip hop. And I'm a Biggie fan. I take it back. That's somewhat sacrilegious. I'm a Biggie fan. I'm a Pop fan. I put him in my top 5. I roll with Biggie, Rakim, Tribe, Wu. I'm an East Coast guy. But I put Pac up in there. I put him in my top 5. But when it comes to battle skills, there's no rapper better than Eminem. So M walks his fool out to arms are sweaty, palms are sweaty, mom's spaghetti, I'm nervous. I can't remember the lyrics I wrote down, however it go. 8 Mile. Crawford comes out to that joint to M. I said, oh my God, that's so gangster. And the reason why that was so gangster is because of the fact that that shit won't cheat. Or he got friends in high places. So he comes out. And I was watching Spence and I was watching Crawford. Both of them look nervous to me. Crawford to me did not look overly confident. But Spence, he looked wide-eyed. And I was looking at his body. I was looking at his neck. I was looking at his shoulders. I was looking at his arms. And I didn't see any additional weight on him. I was like, okay, I thought he was going to rehydrate, get up to maybe 160, 165. You know, people were talking about maybe 170. Nah, Spence looked the exact same weight. And to be honest, Crawford didn't look much bigger either. But remember, Crawford came up from lightweight. He walks around at probably 165. Spence walks around 185. So I was shocked that Spence didn't look bigger or didn't take the opportunity. Hey, you better look. I lived in Vegas for 2 years. How about you hit up one of them buffets? How about you just get mad room service and eat up, and then that night go to the gym and get that gut off, but get that weight back up in you. Drink that water, rehydrate, man. Get that weight back on you. Nah, man, he looks so. Everybody else says drained, and maybe that's why he looked that way. But he just looked. He just looked befuddled. He just looked like he was unsure of himself from jump. But the thing about it, if you don't feel good about where you are physically, can't that give you a feeling of, man, I'm about to go fight possibly one of the greatest fighters to ever do it, and I don't feel like myself? Too late now. I got to fight. So you get in the ring. Round one, I'm like, it looked just like any other Spence fight. What I love about Spence, he establishes his jab and he keeps his opponent at range. He'll do that 2-3 rounds, like he did to Mikey Garcia, 3-4 rounds. He'll throw the occasional looping left hand. And he did that again. So he won round one. Round two, he pretty much was doing it again. That same desire to establish a jab. But I think he started feeling himself a little bit. And he was like, okay, I think I'm going to try to get this fool up out here. And he kind of went in strong for the body shots. And he caught Crawford with a looping left. But then Crawford two-pieced him off the ropes. And it was so funny. It was right after Spence had landed a shot that Crawford hit him with a shot and put him on his ass. Now, that might have been round like 5 or 6. So don't get me wrong. I could be mistaken in that. Or it might have been a knockdown a little earlier. I can't remember which one was first. Where Spence threw threw a jab or threw a left or something, and Crawford went to counter it. And Spence kept bending at the waist. I'm like, yo, why does this fool keep bending at the waist? Bend with the knee. Change levels with the knee. Stop bending forward, head down, where you can't even see your opponent. What did Bruce Lee say back in the day? What was that? When he smacked the dude at the top of the head and Enter the Dragon. The dude bowed like this. He said, what was that? And the guy looked up, what the hell you smacked me for? Never take your eyes off of your opponent or you'll miss all of the heavenly glory. Never take your eyes off your opponent. So Spence, comes up. Lucky he didn't get caught then. And then I think he was about to throw a shot. And then Crawford caught him with a quick jab. Flush. Spence ended up right on his ass. So I look at that. When I saw the replay, I said, okay, that was a knockdown, but I thought it was more of a flash knockdown. And that was the first one. That knockdown was in the second round. And I believe that Spence was more embarrassed than anything. But one thing I noticed, when he was standing up, he was wobbling. He was on wobbly legs. Yeah, we seen the wobbly legs. You remember who said that? Spence was a little wobbly. I was like, I know this fool is not wobbling from a jab to the head. I was like, okay, this is going to be a long night. So Crawford comes in, but Spence still got enough recuperative power that didn't get him. Round 3, Spence came out, and he actually buckled Crawford's legs with a looping left. And I don't know, people act like they didn't see that. I know I saw it. Crawford's legs buckled. And I was like screaming, yo, take advantage. But all night long, every round 4, round 5, round 6, round 7, round 8, Spence kept fighting him at distance. I'm like, how did you become the truth? It's because you put pressure on your opponent. Now, this is the point I want to make. The great Joe Frazier, I believe late Joe Frazier, put tremendous pressure on Ali in 1970. That fight at Madison Square Garden, fresh off of Muhammad Ali's, he had just got reinstated, fresh off of his boycott of Vietnam. I refuse. I ain't got no issue with those Viet Cong. One of the most courageous things ever done in our history. To me, I look at like Earl Spence was Ali, but not to put Spence in any shape or form in Ali's hemisphere. And I remember Joe Frazier wanting that fight so bad. That's Terrence Crawford. He wanted to show everybody as a champion, because everybody said that he wasn't the real champion, that he had a paper belt, just like Crawford had Horn's belt, or Crawford got a belt that he actually should have got from Pacquiao. Everybody thought that Spence was a true show enough champion. And Frazier had a chip on his shoulder. He wanted to prove that he not only could beat Muhammad Ali, but he was the better man, the better boxer. That he wasn't no Uncle Tom. I ain't no gorilla. Nigga, I'm a black man. I'm a boxer, and I'm gonna beat your ass. And that's exactly what he did. There was a lot of shocked people in Madison Square Garden. And the reason why I bring that up is because people don't realize this. Joe Frazier had to go to the hospital for a month. He was in the hospital for a month after that fight because he took so much punishment from Ali. So many left. People, if anybody knows anything about Ali, he was a headhunter. He very rarely went to the body. He was 2-piecing, 3-piecing. He was giving Frazier everything he could muster. Jabs, double jabs, triple jabs, uppercuts, left hooks, right hooks. He was catching him with everything. But Frazier, with that hand movement, even though he was catching him, Ali was catching him, Frazier was also willing to take that to get inside. And once he got there, left rib, right rib, left rib, right rib. He was eating Ali's body up. And when Ali started being a little susceptible to that body, he would come up with that left hook to the jaw. And I'm telling you, I ain't never seen a man take that type of punishment before. Now, of course, I didn't see that. I was 1 year old when that fight. But I saw at the age of 12, 13, 14 years old, I saw that fight over and over and over again, the replays of it. He hit, and you should check it out too. Great fight. He hit Ali with so many hooks. And a normal man would have went down a long time ago. But Ali was a great fighter. He was a great man, great chin. So I look at Frazier, and I look, even though Frazier ended up being Crawford, or Crawford ended up being Frazier and he got the W, he was the real deal that night. And he actually knocked Ali down, I want to say the 14th or 15th round. But what I want to also compare these two is not so much Frazier and Crawford, but it's Frazier and Spence. Frazier was the fighter who applied constant pressure. Spence was supposed to be the fighter that applied constant pressure. He was supposed to, what did he say in the press conference? I'm willing to shed blood, guts, It's going to be a war in that ring. I'm going to break him. Yes, I expected it. I expected it to be difficult. I know I'm going to get hit, but I am prepared to inflict more punishment than what I'm going to take. I'm going to break his will. So a couple of jabs, a couple of well-timed hooks, a couple of uppercuts, nowhere near what a Frazier took. Nowhere near what a Marvin Hagler took when he fought Thomas Hearns, and he was determined to be a pressure fighter. No near the shots that Tyson took when he fought Holyfield, even though he ended up losing. But if go back, look at those shots that Holyfield hit Tyson with. Nothing like the shots that Razor Ruddock hit Tyson with when Tyson was trying to get inside on Razor Ruddock, but he was successful and ended up beating the hell out of Razor Ruddock. Rematch for Razor Ruddock. Crawford hit Spence, yes. He hit him a lot, yes. But I never saw the type of punch where I would say, oh my God. I never reacted like that. I was just like, oh, okay, oh. But if you are intent on getting inside and inflicting damage, those are punches you got to take. And Spence ain't want no part of them punches. From about the fourth or fifth round on after that, Spence was faking the funk. He was faking the funk, y'all. It really hurt me. There was some guys from Omaha that was in Dave & Buster's. That's where I went and saw the fight at out here in Tempe, Arizona. I'm in Glendale right now. And I went to the back because I'm a real one. I went to the back and I shook their hand. I said, hey, man, I'm a very intense guy when I watch sports. And I didn't say anything derogatory to them, but I just wanted, as I said, I'm a real one. I went to them and I shook their hand. I said, hey, man, you were supporting the better fighter tonight. And they basically say, yeah, man, we know Bud. We know Bud. Bud's a dog, man. He's a dog. And I said, well, so is Spence. But no, man, no, Bud's a real dog. I said, well, I can't say nothing to that tonight because you're right. But what I told him is this. When a man gets punched in the mouth, in the jaw, what have you, I don't care what kind of fight it is. You got a couple of decisions. It don't matter if it's in the ring or if it's in the street. You can either keep fighting and take it to your adversary, or you can quit. You can run away. And in boxing, you can't necessarily run away. But what you can do, you can stop trying to be aggressive. You can stop trying to put pressure on your opponent. You can stop trying to wage a war. You can stay on the outside. You can stay in front of your opponent and keep feinting and keep making it look good. It's just like in basketball, if you're playing a nigga one-on-one, and I used to be nice like that. And you playing the fool one-on-one, and it's like, man, everybody's playing somebody better. And it's like, oh, that move don't work, or that up and under ain't working, or my J is off today. Man, this fool met me up top, and I couldn't yam on him. He right there on my fade, or he playing my crossover. Nothing's working. But you got two choices. You can just keep relying on your broke ass jumper, or you can keep taking it down his throat. He gonna have to block my shit 15, 20 times. I'm gonna keep coming down this nigga. Hey, I'm gonna keep coming. I'm gonna keep getting to that cup, because that's the only way I know. And if he can keep stopping me, then it is what it is. And when he on offense, I'm gonna give him my all. But this fool can jump a little higher. His J is on. His handles is crispy. Ain't nothing I can really do. But I'm gonna keep fighting to the end. I mean, What bothered me was that Earl Spence, whether he was weight drained, whether or not he didn't feel 100%, he didn't go out. People want to say that he was courageous. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. I've been watching Earl Spence for 4 years. I know damn well courageous is what he did when he fought Kell Brook. He ate punches to get to Kell Brook. Courageous is what he did when he fought Sean Porter, Fight of the Year 2019. He did not, when he tasted Crawford's power, he made an unconscious decision or conscious decision. I do not want that smoke. I'm going to stay out here on the outside, and every now and then I'm going to pretend to want to get inside. And when Crawford saw, oh, that's it? That's all you got? That's all you coming with? He destroyed him. So with that being said, Spence got to ask himself, do I want a rematch? The hell with the rematch clause. Do I want a rematch? And Crawford and Spence said that he don't want to come down to 147 no more because he felt weak at 147. Hey, Crawford said the same thing. Hey, I had a hard time making the weight too. Matter of fact, Friday morning, when it was time to weigh in, he missed weight. And he had to go, I don't know what he had to do to get another 4-5 ounces off of him. Because he ended up weighing in at 146.8. And Spence weighed in right at 147. But Crawford was heavier than the 147 at first. So Crawford said, nigga, I had problems at that too. He said, my goal anyway was to beat Spence and move up to 154 and challenge Charlo for all 4 of his belts. Can you imagine if he was to actually do that? That'd be gangster. But, so Spencer said, hey, I want to move up. I don't want to do the 147. I would like to fight Bud again. And to me, I still feel like he said that because that's what he felt he was supposed to say. I don't think he really knows for sure if he want to fight Bud again. But we'll see. He said he wants to fight Bud again at 154. But that's up to him. Will he accept that? And Bud said, yeah. He said, I'm in the hurt business. I'm in the hurt business. So yeah, I have no problem with that. You know, another thing he's in the money business. That was probably the easiest 30 million, 25, 30 million he ever made in his life. Because that fight was easier for him than the Porter fight, all these other fights, the Benavidez fight, the Gamboa fight, all the guy that knocked him down, all that. And I'm gonna just close off by saying this. Y'all didn't see the best of Spence. Spence did not come into this fight physically where he needed to be, but it's not an excuse because I don't feel like he was where he needed to be for Garcia. I don't feel like he was where he needed to be for either Garcia, Mikey or Danny, but you were fighting lesser opponents. I felt that he was in great physical shape when he fought Porter, and I felt that he was in great physical shape when he fought Kell Brook. But he looked terrible at fight night. He looked good to me during the face-off when they actually for the weigh-in. But the next day, I just don't. He did not look good at all. So we'll see. But he need to actually do some self-searching and look deep within himself, and he need to do some soul searching, and he needs to ask himself, does he really want that fight? But here's another thing: those 4 belts, those are welterweight belts up to 147. So if they fight at 154, those belts can't be on the line, can they? Can somebody please answer that question? So if you hung in all the way to the end of this video, please let me know, because I don't know. But my main reason for making this video is because I made a video a while ago basically saying why Earl Spence was going to handle that business. So now I'm making a video on why Earl Spence got that ass whooped. So it is what it is. I'm still a fan of Spence. You need to do that soul searching. decide whether or not you're going to move up, decide whether or not you want to fight Crawford again. But I feel like you ain't got no choice, because if you don't fight Crawford again with a rematch clause, you can't fight someone else because you're going to look like a punk. So it is what it is. And if you can't perform any better than what you did, you need to call it quits. It is what it is. That's all I got to say on the fight. Please, somebody put in the comments whether or not Spence would have to see if those belts would be up for grabs in a fight at 154. I actually think those belts would be vacated and left for Boots or whoever else wants those belts. And I feel like that Spence and Crawford would just be a fight. It wouldn't be for a championship. It would just be a fight with no belts on the line. Unless the WBC, unless all 4 belts sanction it as a fight that would, in respect to welterweight, I don't know. So somebody please educate me on that. Hey man, God bless you all. I wish everybody health and strength. Praise our Lord Jesus Christ. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to make this video. Hey man, I'm out. Till the next one. Peace.